By default, the Woocommerce plugin has certain limitations in sending out PDF invoices and creating packaging slips. So in this video, we will see how we can enable PDF invoices and packaging slips on our website. We will see how to enable PDF invoice attachment on specific order status and also enable the customer to download the invoices from their My Account section. We will see the use of invoice templates, how to auto-generate SKU and add it to the invoice, how to set up GST and display it on the invoice, how to display product weight on the invoice, how to add HSN code on the invoice, and lastly, we will see how to bulk download the invoices and packaging slips. So let us start. Hi, this is Prakash from theskillwheel.com, and in today's session we are looking at how we can enable PDF invoices and packaging slips on our website. So to do that, let us go to the dashboard, and from the left side, let us hover over to plugins and go to add new. So here just search for PDF invoice. So you will see the first plugin. The name is Woocommerce PDF Invoices and Packaging Slips by Evert Fernhout. And you should always check the rating for any plugin that you are installing. So it has a very good rating and it has been installed on more than 3 lakh active websites. And it is also compatible and updated just 2 months back. So I'm just installing this plugin and I will activate this plugin. So we are going to see the free as well as the pro version settings for this plugin. Once I activate the plugin, under the Woocommerce, I will see a new tab enabled is the PDF invoices. So you can go to the settings of this plugin from the settings tab or also from the Woocommerce PDF invoices. So once I click on the settings, I will see 3 tabs. The first one is the general settings, documents and the status. So let us check out the general settings for this plugin. So under the general setting, the first thing you will see is how do you want to view the PDF. So under the drop down, you will see some options like download the PDF and open the PDF in a new browser, tab or window. So this will enable the download PDF or open PDF function on your website. So I will just say open the PDF in new browser or tab window. So next it says choose a template. So this comes under the pro version and we will look at this section in the later part of this video. The next setting is about the paper size and you can set the paper size either to A4 or the letter depending on your requirement. The next thing is the test mode, so we need not enable this. Further, it says extend currency symbol or support. So in case if you are using some other currency than dollar, you might see that the currency symbol is not properly displayed. So in such case, you need to enable this functionality. So that was the currency symbol support. And the next thing is shop header or logo. So from here, we can set the logo for the invoice. So this logo will be displayed on our invoice as a branding for our website. So you can also change the height for this logo. Next, we need to set the shop name. So I will just say hot best seller shop. Now we need to add the shop address and that will be displayed on the invoice. So I will just type in 111. So this will be the address displayed on our invoice. Next thing, we can add the footer terms and conditions or the policies here. So can be important if your client or you need such information to be displayed on the invoice. So these things are for the premium plugin. So I will just save this. And we will now move on to the next tab, that is the Documents tab. So under the Documents, you will see two tabs. The first one is the Invoice and the next is the Packaging Slips. So under the Invoice, we need to enable the invoice. So once you tick this box, the invoice will be attached to the email that is sent out to the customer. So we need to select to which all emails we want the invoice to be attached, and I can select the new order. I need not have it on the cancelled order. Further, I want it on the processing order or the completed order. But I would suggest you that this should not be enabled on a new order or the processing order, and it can be enabled only on the completed order. So a completed order is the one on which the product has been received by the customer. The order is completed and then he will be able to view the invoice. So you can do the settings from here. So we need not disable it for anything. Display shipping address. So since it's an invoice, I would say only when different from the billing address. So display email address, yes. Display phone number, yes. Display customer notes, we can enable this. Display invoice date. So invoice date is important. So we can have the invoice date or the order date. So I will say the order date. So display invoice number. So it is an important thing. So I will go with the order number just to have the continuity. So here it says next invoice number. So if I have already created a few invoices, it is asking me what the next invoice number should be. So if you want, we can have this set to maybe 1000, and here we can enable the prefix for the invoice numbers. So a prefix can be something like HP dash. So all the numbers, the invoice number will have this as the prefix. So HB 1001 will be the next invoice generated on our website. So the next thing is reset invoice numbers yearly. So we can enable this so that the next year will start with the minimum number on the invoices. Next, we can set the conditions under which the customer will be able to download the invoices, and we have the options like only when invoice is already created or emailed, only for specific order status, or we can say always or never. So if we say never, the customer won't be able to download the invoices. So let us pick up the second one, only for specific order status, and we can have the order status as the completed orders. So only once we update the order status as completed, the customer will be able to download the invoices. Next, we can enable the invoice number column in the order list. So I will not enable this. Also, disable for free orders. So we need not have the invoice enabled for the free orders. The next thing it says always use most current settings. We need to enable this, and I will just save these settings. So the last tab we have is the status, and we have few settings over here. So we can allow the guest to access the invoices. So we can enable from here. Important thing is enable the automatic cleanup for the PDF invoices. If we have an e-commerce store getting plenty of orders in a year, we can maybe clean up the PDF files periodically. So if we can set it to maybe 7 days, every 7 days the PDF files will be automatically cleaned up from the temporary folder. So we can enable this and set the number of days from here. So I think we are done with the basic setup, and let us save the changes. Now let us place an order and see how the things are working on our website. So I will just place an order for the traditional white hat, and we'll just check out on this. So now I have placed this order, and this is the order confirmation. Now if I go to my orders, this is the order that I have just placed, and it doesn't have any invoice enabled here. So let us go to the backend and check this order. So you will see that the order was just placed, and you will see the PDF invoice and the PDF packaging slip over here. So we need to check the settings for the packaging slips as well. Let us check this order. And here you will see it has an option to create the PDF invoice and packaging slips. So for this, we just need to change the status to completed and update this order. And now we can say PDF invoice has been generated. And now if we go to the customer my account section and refresh this, I will see the invoice now visible to the customer. If I view this now, the invoice is now open on the next tab, and this is the invoice that I have. So it has our logo and the details for the order. So now let us check the settings for the packaging slips, and I will go to the PDF invoice settings, and we need to check under the documents, and we have a small setting for the packaging slips as well. So if you haven't understood what a packaging slip is, when you receive any product from any e-commerce store, so you must have noticed that you have the information which is on the carton. So it displays the customer address, billing details, and the customer contact number and other stuff. So we can just enable or disable that from here. So it says enable the packaging slip. Yes, of course. Display billing address. So if you feel it is not required on the packaging slip, you can say no. So I will put it as no. The further thing is the display email address, not that required. Display phone number. So phone number is important as it will help the courier person to contact the customer in case he is not able to locate the customer address, or if there is any issue with delivering the product. So we can enable that, and display customer notes also we can enable that. So I will just save it, and we will also see how the packaging slip now is looking. So under the orders, go to the PDF packaging slip, the customer address, the order number, and the order details. So this is required for the courier person to deliver the product. Now next, let us see how we can customize the invoice with the help of the Pro version of the plugin. And for this, I have already downloaded the Pro version, and I will upload it now on this website. So I will go to Add New, and I will upload the file here and install it. Once installed, I will just enable the Pro plugin. So now if we go to the PDF Invoices settings, we will see some new additions to the settings. So you will see that there is one additional tab, that is the customizer. And if you check under the choose template, you will see there are a few premium templates now being added. So if we see now for any of the orders, so we'll go to the orders, and under the order, I will check invoice. So this is how the invoice is looking at the moment. And if we change the template now, so from the PDF Invoices, if I select business template, the invoice will have a different structure. So this is how you can change the look of your invoice by selecting different templates. So I will go with the simple premium template and save the changes. Let us check the content on the invoice. So it has pulled up the data for the company address and the details. It has the customer or the delivery address, invoice number, invoice date, the order number and order date, and also the payment method. Secondly, under the product details, it has pulled up the name of the product, the SKU number, quantity. For the pricing, it has the price, subtotal, the shipping cost, and the grand total. So if we wish to change this content, we can now go to the third tab, that is the customize. So under the customizer, you get a lot of options now to customize this particular field on your invoice. From these settings, we can have additional columns like the SKU details. Quantity is already there. Variations, if you have variable products, a regular price, a discounted price, tax rate, weight, and other important things like the product description, and if you would like to enable some static text, you can add all this in the additional columns here. So from the rows also, you can have additional rows for the discount, the grand total, and total weight and total quantity. So you can have a lot of additional things here. So what I will do, because it has already pulled up the SKU details. So let us see how we can add the SKU details over here. So what I will do, I will go to add column and select the SKU, and it will ask me to label it differently. So I want the default label for this, and I can simply move this to a different position and maybe after the product. So I will move the quantity here, and if I now save this, I can go back to the invoice and I will immediately see that the SKU is now reflecting as a separate column also. So for the SKU, if you wish to have a complete SKU system, what you need to do is go to add plugins, and we can make use of a simple plugin. Name is Auto SKU, and you will see the first plugin, Easy Auto SKU generator for Woocommerce. So with the help of this, you can have your own way of generating SKUs, and this can be automated with the help of this plugin. So if I now go to the settings, I will see different things like for the SKU, how many characters the SKU should be. So it can be 5 numbers. I can have a prefix for the SKU. So I will simply say HB. So it will have a prefix for the SKU, and I can have the format for the SKU like only numbers, only letters, or it can be alphanumeric. I can have the product ID added to the SKU and few settings for the variable product as well. So I can simply save this, and now if I go to the products and I will go to edit, and under the inventory, now I will see a new button to recreate SKU. So if I click on this, you will immediately see it has taken the format HB and a number. So this is how you can auto generate the SKUs for your product, and you can add it on your invoices too. So I will try to refresh this invoice now, and it has taken the SKU number here. So this is how you can add the SKU, and let us now see about the GST. So for the GST, if you just wish to add the GST or VAT number on the invoice, you can simply go to the PDF invoices setting, and under the general settings, you will see you have the footer terms and conditions and policies. So here you can add the GST number, maybe like this, or you can also add it under the extra fields. So both ways, the GST number will be reflected on your invoices. So I will just go and save this setting. Now if I refresh the invoice, I should see the footer containing the GST number. So you can also have the VAT number or whatever your country uses. So this is how you can add the GST number. But if you would like to enable the GST calculations or the tax calculation on the invoice, you need to go to Woocommerce settings, and under the general setting, you will first need to enable the tax rate calculation. So if you take this and save it, you will see a new tab called the tax. So here at the moment you will see the standard rate, flat rate and zero rate tax options are available. So if you wish to enable the GST rates here, you simply need to type GST 5, GST 12, GST 18. So whatever respective rates which will be required on your product, you need to enter it over here and save it. So immediately after you save the setting, you will see the same options GST 12, GST 18, GST 5. So under each of this, you will need to enter the calculations here. So I have clicked the insert rows. Now I will create the calculation or the values for the GST, and IN is the country code for India, and for the rate I will at the moment put it as 12. So GST 12 applies for the 12% GST on the product. I will save this, and similarly I will go to GST 18, insert the calculation line. I will put IN, then for this the rate is 18%. And so I'm not giving you the whole details here because the video will get lengthy if we just discuss the GST settings. So this in short are the GST settings, and now I will create the calculations for GST 5%. So I will just save it. Now I need to go to the products and apply the GST rates. So I will go to the product and we'll pick up the same product, the traditional white hat, and apply the GST rates there. So I will go to edit. Under the tax, it is taxable, and now I will see the GST options in the drop down. So I will say 18% GST applicable on this product, and I just need to save and update it. Again, I will go to PDF Invoices, and under the customizer, now I need to go to VAT, single total I will tick, and the product tax. So I will name this as GST, and now save it. So if I now place a new order for the same product for which we have enabled the GST, I will just place this order, and it is 9285, the order number. And now if I go to orders and check the PDF invoice, it now shows the GST as 8.28, and now this is how we can enable GST on our product. So you can exclude the shipping from the tax, so you can disable that, and you can have this now configured for the GST. So next, sometimes we need to have the product weight also to be mentioned under the product details. So let us see how we can achieve this. Let us go to the dashboard. So I will go to all products, and for the same product, now let us go to shipping and put the weight details. So I will say it is 0.5 kgs. And I will just update it. So if I refresh the invoice now, I will immediately see that under the product details, I see the weight mentioned as 0.5 kg. But if you would like to have this mentioned something over here and also the total weight, what we can do, we can go to the PDF invoices, and under the customizer now, we need to add the column as weight, and I will just pull this to maybe here. So before the quantity, and I don't want to label it differently, it is weight. And for the rows, I will add the total weight. I will take the grand total below fees, and now here. So below the discount, I have total weight. Now if I save this and refresh the invoice, I immediately see the weight now mentioned here, and also I have the total weight calculated at the bottom of the invoice. So if you order for multiple products, you will see the total weight changing here. So this is how you can enable the weight calculation on your invoices. So next we will see how we can add the HSN code on our invoices. So if you don't know HSN, it is the Harmonized System of Nomenclature, and it is kind of a classification of the goods which are sold online or offline. So if you would like to sell your product internationally, you need to have HSN code for your product reflected on your invoices. So for this, let us go to the dashboard and go to the product attributes. So we will need to create the HSN codes with the help of attributes first. And here under the attributes, I will add a new attribute as the HSN code. So I will just say add attribute, and you will see that a new attribute called HSN code is now enabled here. So let us go to configure terms, and here we need to add all the HSN codes which will be applicable to our products. I will just have some dummy number over here. So I will put a 6 number code. Now you will see that the HSN code is now updated over here. I will add the next code as this, so on. So you can add as many HSN codes which are required on your products as per the product categories. So now we need to go to the products and have the products updated with the respective HSN codes. So I will go to all products and I will try to find out the same product. So here I need to go to the settings, and under the attributes here from the drop down I need to select the HSN code and say add. So you will see a new field now created for the HSN, and from here I need to select the respective HSN code for this product. So for example, I'm taking this as the HSN code applicable on the traditional white hat. Now it is asking me visible on the product page. So I don't want the HSN code to be reflecting on the website because it will be irrelevant there. So I will go to update and I will just check if the HSN code is now properly updated under the attributes, and it is there. So if I check on the drop down, the same HSN code is now selected for our product. So once the product is updated, let us now go to Woocommerce and PDF invoice settings, and under the customizer, now we need to add a column for the attribute, and we will select the name as HSN code and also label it as HSN. Now let us move this ahead of the SKU and save these settings. Now if we go to the orders and open the invoice, we should see the HSN number now updated on our invoice. So this is how we can update the essential information like the SKU, weight, HSN code, GST and other things as per our requirement. So next thing, we will see how we can bulk download the invoices and packaging slips from our orders. So here on the order page, if for example, I need to download the PDF invoices for the first 4 orders, I can select the orders for which I need to download the PDF invoices or the packaging slips. And from the bulk action drop down, you can select the PDF invoice or the packaging slip. So I will first select the PDF invoice and I will just say apply. So immediately you will see a new window open with all the 4 invoices, and from this button you can easily download or print the invoices. So similarly for the packaging slips, you can say apply, and on a new window you will see the packaging slips now displayed in the form of a PDF. So you can download this and print them as well. So if you have liked this video, do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and also hit the bell icon so that you will get notifications for all my upcoming videos. So thank you so much and take care.